They say every successful person has a story. Some stories begin in big houses. Some begin with rich parents. Some begin with opportunities. But this story began in dust. In the heart of Lagos, where the streets never seemed to sleep and the markets were always full of noise, there lived a young woman named Amara. Every morning before the sun rose, Amara carried a heavy basket of oranges on her head and walked to the market. The market was loud. Traders shouted, customers bargained, cars honked, dust filled the air. To most people, Amara was just another poor girl trying to survive. But Amara saw herself differently. While others saw dust, Amara saw diamonds. Not real diamonds, the diamonds were her dreams. She dreamed of owning a successful company one day. She dreamed of building a better life for herself and her mother. Most people laughed whenever she talked about her dreams. One afternoon, as she walked through the market, she noticed a wealthy woman drop a large bundle of money without realizing it. Amara quickly picked it up and ran after her. "Madame, madame," she called. The woman stopped and turned around. "You dropped this." The woman looked surprised. She counted the money carefully and realized every naira was there. "You could have kept this," she said. Amara smiled kindly. "It doesn't belong to me." The woman looked carefully. "What do you want to become in life?" Without hesitation, Amara replied, "One day I will own companies." The people nearby burst into laughter. One trader shook his head. "Companies? This market girl?" Another woman laughed. "She should focus on selling oranges." The rich woman smiled kindly before walking away. But the laughter stayed with Amara long after the woman had gone. You know, people will often laugh at your dreams because they cannot see what you see. Never allow someone else's opinion to become your reality. Honesty may not reward you immediately, but it always leaves a door open somewhere in your future. At that moment, Amara didn't know it, but one simple act of honesty was already changing her life. That night, Amara returned to the small room she shared with her mother. The room was simple. There was no electricity. Only a lantern lit the darkness. After her mother fell asleep, Amara opened an old notebook. Inside were pages filled with business ideas. She had drawn logos, written plans, listed goals. Every page was filled with dreams. Her mother noticed and sighed. "Amara, dreams don't put food on the table." Amara lowered her eyes. "Maybe not today, Mama." Her mother smiled gently and kissed her forehead. "Sleep. Tomorrow will come early." But Amara stayed awake, staring at her notebook and imagining a different future. Weeks passed. One day, a businessman named Tunde visited the market. Unlike most people, he paid attention to the way Amara worked. He noticed how she organized the fruit sellers. He watched her suggest better ways to display products. He saw customers buying more because of her ideas. Curious, he walked over. "Who taught you business?" he asked. Amara smiled. "Nobody. I just watched people." Tunde was impressed. For the first time, someone saw the diamond hidden beneath the dust. Not long afterwards, he offered her an internship in his company. Amara could hardly believe it. This was the opportunity she had been waiting for. She rushed home to tell her mother. For the first time in years, both of them allowed themselves to hope. But life had other plans. Just a few days before Amara was supposed to start, her mother suddenly collapsed. Doctors rushed her to the hospital. The diagnosis was serious. Treatment would cost more money than Amara had ever seen. Suddenly, she faced an impossible choice: follow her dream or save her mother. Without hesitation, she chose her mother. She sold everything she could, she borrowed money, she worked longer hours, and in the process, she lost the internship. The dream slipped away. Still, her mother's condition continued to worsen. Day after day, Amara sat beside her hospital bed, watching, praying, hoping. Life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. Sometimes doing the right thing comes with a painful price. Many people give up when life becomes difficult because they think their story is over. But a closed door does not always mean the end. Sometimes it is simply preparing you for a better door that you cannot see yet. One evening, her best friend Kemi found her crying quietly in the hospital corridor. "I think everyone was right," Amara whispered. "Maybe dreams are not for people like me." Kemi held her hand. "No, Amara, this isn't the end of your story." But Amara wasn't sure she believed her. Then came the day she feared most. Her mother passed away. The world seemed to stop. The hospital room felt empty. The future felt empty. Even the dreams that had once kept her going felt empty. At the funeral, people whispered, "Poor girl, life has finished her. How will she survive now?" Amara heard every word, and for a moment, she wondered if they were right. Days later, while cleaning her mother's belongings, she found an old envelope hidden beneath folded clothes. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a letter. It read, "My daughter, if you are reading this, it means I am gone. I know I often told you to stop dreaming. The truth is, I was afraid life would break your heart. But secretly, I believed in you every single day. I have been saving money little by little. Use it to build the future you deserve. Love, Mama." Tears rolled down Amara's face. Inside the envelope was savings documents. Her mother had secretly saved money for years. Not enough to make her rich, but enough to give her a chance. For the first time since her mother's death, Amara smiled. The people who truly love us sometimes make sacrifices without saying a word. Mama didn't leave Amara millions. She left her hope. Never underestimate the little sacrifices made by the people who love you. Those sacrifices can become the foundation of your future. The very next morning, Amara rented a tiny fruit stand. It wasn't much, but it was hers. She worked harder than ever before. She woke before sunrise, she closed after sunset. She kept records, studied her customers, improved her products. Slowly, the business began to grow. One fruit stand became two. Two became five. Five became a delivery service. The delivery service became a company. Years passed. The same people who once laughed now spoke her name with respect. But success brought new problems. Chief Bello, one of the richest businessmen in town, noticed her growing influence. He didn't like competition, especially from someone who had started with nothing. He tried everything to stop her. Her businesses were sabotaged, false accusations appeared, court cases followed. For a while, it seemed as if everything she had built would collapse again. But this time, Amara refused to quit. Life will always test people who are trying to grow. Not everyone will celebrate your success. Some people will fight you simply because they are afraid of your progress. Don't stop because someone else is uncomfortable with your success. Keep moving. Your consistency will always speak louder than their jealousy. Then, something unexpected happened. The wealthy woman from the market returned. The same woman whose money Amara had returned years ago. She smiled as she looked at Amara. "I never forgot the honest young woman who returned my money. I have been watching your journey all these years." She invested heavily in Amara's company. That investment saved the business. The court ruled in her favor. Chief Bello lost, and Amara's company continued to grow. Years later, Amara stood on a stage before hundreds of young people. The audience applauded as she stepped up to the microphone. A little girl raised her hand. "How did you become successful?" Amara smiled. She remembered the market, the dust, the tears, the laughter, the hospital, her mother's letter, the struggles, the victories, everything. Then she answered, "When I was young, people only saw the dust around me. The room became silent. But I kept looking for the diamonds hidden inside my dreams." Amara smiled. "And one day, I found them." The audience rose to their feet. The applause echoed through the hall. And somewhere beyond the noise, beyond the success, beyond the diamonds, Amara could almost hear her mother's voice. "I always believed in you." At that moment, she realized something. The greatest gift she had ever received was not money, it was belief. Because when someone believes in you, they give you strength. And when you believe in yourself, you give yourself a future. So if there is one lesson to take away from Amara's story, let it be this. Never let where you are today decide where you can be tomorrow. Be honest even when nobody is watching. Work hard even when nobody notices. Keep believing even when everyone laughs. Because every great success story starts with someone who refused to give up. If this story touched your heart, let it remind you that your current situation does not define your final destination. As long as you keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep believing, your own diamonds will shine one day.